up above us, the lights are starting to shake a bit.
You can see this building is collapsed.
What you see here now is the remnants of a fire.
From people being hit by flying objects.
A magnitude 6.9 earthquake along the San Andreas Fault.
House that slid off of its foundation
Caused Bay Area buildings to crumble and freeways to collapse.
The San Andreas Fault slices through California, a giant scar marking the boundary between two tectonic plates. This infamous fault is notorious for unleashing devastating earthquakes, and scientists are concerned a major one might be on the horizon. The last big quake here rumbled in 1857, wreaking havoc. Geologists are scrambling to unravel the fault's secrets and prepare for the inevitable next temblor. But numerous questions linger. Will the coming earthquake be as powerful as the one in 1857? Could a megaquake trigger a monstrous tsunami? What steps can Californians take to brace themselves for the big one? Well, if you want to know this, all stay tuned till the end. The San Andreas Fault, a green line etched across the landscape, is not just a geographical feature. It's a harbinger of doom, known for cleaving California in two and unleashing devastating earthquakes that leave both the government and residents on edge. Recent discoveries hint at a worsening situation, prompting urgent questions. When will the San Andreas fail? Could California sink? Scientists race against time, seeking solutions before catastrophe strikes. Stretching over 800 miles from the Gulf of California to San Francisco, the San Andreas Fault is a colossal crack in North America's fabric, constantly in motion and poised to unleash chaos. Memories of the 1906 earthquake still haunt, serving as a stark reminder of the fault's destructive potential. Secondary faults, like the one that erupted in Los Angeles suburbs 5 years after a minor quake in 1989, underscore the vulnerability of communities along the fault line. Despite the devastation, some towns remain perilously exposed. Places like Point Reyes Station, Fraser Park, Daly City, Desert Hot Springs, Gorman, San Bernardino, Wrightwood, Palmdale, and Bodega Bay stand vulnerable to the potential devastation. Concerns heighten as Thomas Jordan, director of the Southern California Earthquake Center, issues dire warnings about the fault's critical state, hinting at the looming specter of a catastrophic earthquake. Californians are on edge, with Jordan's words amplifying fears already ingrained from historical tremors. The fault, according to Jordan, seems primed and ready to unleash its destructive force. A historical marker is the 7.9 magnitude earthquake that rocked a stretch of 185 miles between Monterey County and the San Gabriel Mountains back in 1857. With such ominous signs, the stakes are high, and preparations must be made to mitigate the potential fallout of a disaster of unprecedented scale. The San Andreas Fault is eerily quiet, causing concern among experts and residents alike. At a recent National Seismology Conference in Long Beach, tensions ran high as everyone grappled with the uncertainty of when and how severe the next earthquake might strike. Californians have every reason to be worried about this notorious fault line. The Pacific Plate's slow northwest movement in relation to the North American plate should theoretically ease the stress by 16 feet every century. However, contrary to expectations, stress has been building up for nearly a century, tightening the springs of the San Andreas system. Thomas Jordan, director of the Southern California Earthquake Center, issued a stark warning, suggesting that the fault may be on the brink of a major earthquake. And it's not just one segment of the fault that's cause for concern. San Bernardino County, particularly the Con Pass region, has remained relatively dormant since the earthquake of 1812. However, recent findings indicate that the Pacific Plate's northwestward movement, in relation to the North American plate, is exacerbating the situation. Jordan's recommendation is clear. California must brace itself for a magnitude 8 earthquake. He commended Los Angeles for its proactive measures in retrofitting apartments and concrete structures to withstand such seismic events. San Bernardino County and other cities are urged to follow suit to ensure they are earthquake-ready. Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti has been tirelessly preparing the city for the worst-case scenario, earning praise from Jordan for his efforts in earthquake retrofitting. The urgency of these preparations cannot be overstated, as the potential impact of a major earthquake looms large over California's future. The San Andreas Fault is not just a line on a map, it's a geological reality that shapes the lives of millions. Its silence in recent times is unsettling, prompting fears of what might come next. At a recent conference attended by seismologists from across the nation, the mood was tense as discussions revolved around the looming threat posed by the fault. The fault's behavior defies expectations, with stress levels continuing to rise despite the gradual movement of tectonic plates. Thomas Jordan, a leading expert in earthquake science, sounded the alarm, warning that a major earthquake could be imminent. This warning extends beyond just one section of the fault. In San Bernardino County, the Con Pass area has remained relatively quiet since 1812, but recent studies suggest a potential for increased seismic activity. The shifting of tectonic plates only adds to the complexity of the situation, necessitating urgent action to prepare for the worst-case scenario. Jordan's call to action is clear. California must ready itself for a magnitude 8 earthquake. He commended the efforts of cities like Los Angeles in retrofitting buildings to withstand such tremors, emphasizing the importance of collective readiness. Mayor Eric Garcetti's proactive measures in Los Angeles have earned praise, but the task ahead is daunting. With the specter of a major earthquake looming, the time to act is now to ensure the safety and resilience of California's communities. The reaction to the earthquake readiness initiatives spearheaded by Jordan was nothing short of remarkable. As he surveyed the progress achieved, he couldn't help but feel a sense of awe at how far California had come in its preparations for the inevitable seismic event. However, this progress was not without its challenges, as Jordan recognized the formidable political obstacles that had been encountered along the way. Despite commendable efforts and significant strides forward, California finds itself teetering on the brink of disaster, perilously unprepared for what could potentially be one of its most devastating natural catastrophes, the rupture of the San Andreas Fault. The warnings issued by the U.S. Geological Survey, USGS, cast a somber shadow over the state, painting a bleak and foreboding picture of the potential consequences of a seismic event along the southern stretch of the San Andreas Fault. According to their projections, a quake measuring a magnitude of 7.8 could unleash havoc of unprecedented proportions, resulting in staggering casualties, significant financial losses, and prolonged disruptions to daily life. The grim estimates put forth by the USGS forecast as many as 50,000 injuries and a jaw-dropping $200 billion in damages, underscoring the urgent need for comprehensive preparation and response strategies. These stark warnings serve as a wake-up call to Californians and policymakers alike, urging them to prioritize earthquake preparedness with renewed vigor and determination. The looming specter of such a catastrophic event demands nothing less than a coordinated, multifaceted approach to disaster mitigation and response. From bolstering infrastructure resilience to enhancing emergency response capabilities, every aspect of readiness must be meticulously planned and executed to minimize the potential impact of a seismic disaster of this magnitude. The repercussions of such an earthquake would reverberate across vast swaths of Southern California, with communities in Coachella Valley, Inland Empire, and Antelope Valley bracing for intense shaking that could persist for a harrowing 2 minutes. Adding to the gravity of the situation is the heightened vulnerability of areas like the San Gabriel Valley and East Los Angeles, where the presence of sedimentary layers serves to exacerbate the impact of seismic waves, potentially resulting in widespread destruction and chaos. In the event of a major earthquake, the repercussions would extend far beyond the initial tremors, with critical infrastructure such as the sewer system facing the risk of a 6-month shutdown. Such a scenario could prove catastrophic, with the potential for as many as 1,500 fatalities as essential services grind to a halt and communities struggle to cope with the aftermath. Recognizing the severity of the threat posed by the San Andreas Fault, urgent action is imperative. Strengthening vital lifelines such as Los Angeles's aqueduct and telecommunication networks emerges as a top priority, with efforts to bolster resilience and mitigate the impact of a potential earthquake gaining traction. The historic lessons gleaned from past seismic events, such as the devastating 1857 Fort Tejon earthquake, serve as poignant reminders of the immense destructive power inherent in the San Andreas Fault. Despite its distance from the bustling downtown core of Los Angeles, the fault's proximity underscores the pervasive threat it poses to the region, necessitating a concerted and coordinated response effort. As California races against the clock to fortify its defenses and minimize the potential toll of an impending catastrophe, the imperative for proactive preparedness measures becomes increasingly apparent. With the specter of a major earthquake looming on the horizon, the resilience and resolve of Californians are put to the test as they confront the sobering reality of living in one of the most seismically active regions in the world. In the face of such uncertainty, the importance of unity, collaboration, and steadfast determination cannot be overstated as California navigates the turbulent waters of seismic risk and prepares for the challenges that lie ahead. An earthquake is a powerful demonstration of nature's raw force, vividly illustrating the potential for devastation that stretches from the Salton Sea to the towering San Gabriel Mountains. In a stunning simulation, we're given a glimpse into how seismic waves could ripple through the sprawling metropolis of Los Angeles, shaking its foundations to the core. The San Andreas Fault serves as a dramatic boundary between two massive plates of the Earth's crust, the Northern Pacific Plate and the North American Plate. This fault is what we call a strike-slip fault, caused by the relentless northward push of the Pacific Plate past the North American Plate. To put it in perspective, during the early 20th century, this movement averaged between 4 to 6 centimeters per year, though over geological timescales, it's more like 1 centimeter per year. But what does this mean for us? Well, it means that a significant seismic event, often referred to as the next big one, could be just around the corner. The historic 1906 San Andreas Fault earthquake saw portions of the land shifting by a whopping 6.4 meters. Some might also call the San Andreas Fault a transform fault, adding to the confusion. The San Andreas Fault isn't just a hidden fracture deep within the Earth's crust. It's a dynamic force that has profoundly shaped the scenic beauty and geological diversity of California. If you embark on a journey to explore its impact, you'll find yourself marveling at the visible evidence of its presence in places like the Carrizo Plain in San Luis Obispo County or Marin County. Here, you'll encounter the stark reminders of its activity. Fault lines etched into the landscape, scarps rising abruptly from the earth, and pressure ridges hinting at the tremendous forces at play beneath our feet. However, not all sections of the fault reveal themselves so readily. Some lie concealed beneath layers of lush vegetation or buried beneath sedimentary layers, silently accumulating stress over time. Even in bustling cities like Los Angeles and San Bernardino, where the hustle and bustle of urban life obscure the geological drama unfolding beneath, the fault's influence is evident. Roads wind their way through mountain ranges, where finely crushed rock bears witness to the fault's relentless movement, subtly shaping the contours of the land. But the San Andreas Fault is much more than just a geological feature. It's a testament to the intricate dance of tectonic plates that has unfolded over millions of years. Forged in the crucible of time, This 30-million-year-old marvel is a masterpiece of geological engineering, where rocks from disparate origins have been thrust together by the immense pressures exerted by colliding plates. The collision of these titanic forces has given birth to a rich tapestry of rock types on either side of the fault, each telling a unique story of the Earth's tumultuous history. The San Andreas Fault is like a geographical storyteller, revealing the intricate tale of tectonic activity that has shaped California's landscape over millions of years. The San Andreas Fault is often associated with myths and legends, some claiming it's capable of producing mega-earthquakes with magnitudes of 10 or higher. However, scientists have debunked these tall tales as they've found no evidence of faults long enough to generate such colossal seismic events. While the San Andreas Fault is undeniably significant, stretching an impressive 880 miles, it falls short of the length required to trigger earthquakes of such monumental proportions. So, while it may not be the stuff of Hollywood disaster movies, the reality of the San Andreas Fault's power and influence is just as captivating, showcasing the awe-inspiring forces of nature at work. The length of a fault holds the key to understanding the strength of earthquakes it can generate. Put simply, longer faults often lead to more powerful earthquakes. For instance, look at Chile, where the longest fault ever recorded caused the most massive earthquake in history, measuring an astonishing 9.5 on the Richter scale. Yet despite our advancements in science, predicting earthquakes remains a daunting task. Scientists are tirelessly researching and experimenting to forecast seismic events, but accurately pinpointing when, where, and how severe earthquakes will strike remains a puzzle we've yet to solve. However, it's essential to recognize that while the San Andreas Fault might not unleash a megaquake, the risk of significant tremors looms over regions like the San Francisco Bay Area and Southern California. Experts warn of a 60% chance of a major earthquake rocking these areas within the next 3 decades. That's why it's crucial to grasp the dangers associated with earthquakes and take necessary precautions. Luckily, scientific progress has equipped us to anticipate the ground movement during these tremors, offering valuable guidance for engineers and building code developers. Despite the San Andreas Fault's unpredictable nature, this knowledge is instrumental in crafting structures that can withstand the intense shaking brought on by earthquakes, ultimately bolstering the resilience of communities residing in earthquake-prone zones. Despite concerns from experts about the San Andreas Fault's potential to cause devastating earthquakes due to its proximity to California's densely populated areas and vital infrastructure, there's still room for nature enthusiasts to appreciate its unique features. The fault offers various opportunities for leisure activities like family vacations, camping, bird watching, and rock collecting. It's like finding beads in a thread, each discovery adding to the allure of exploration. State and national parks along the fault boast stunning views of vibrant wildflowers and diverse wildlife, making it an attractive destination for outdoor enthusiasts. However, despite the allure of these recreational activities, scientists and geologists remain uncertain about when the fault will release its built-up stress. The anticipation lingers. Will the next earthquake match the intensity of historical seismic events like the 1857 Fort Tejon earthquake or the infamous 1906 San Francisco earthquake, which left devastation in its wake and claimed numerous lives? The sheer power of these earthquakes is etched into history, with the San Francisco earthquake flattening buildings and causing widespread destruction. Another significant quake, the Great Fort Tejon earthquake, shook Southern California to its core, with Parkfield in Monterey County serving as its epicenter. Contrary to popular belief, it wasn't centered in Fort Tejon. This seismic event rippled out from northwest of Parkfield, spanning approximately 360 kilometers southeast along the San Andreas Fault. Interestingly, The midpoint of the rupture suffered more damage than other sparsely populated areas of Southern California. Comparatively, the 1857 Fort T. John earthquake eclipsed the 1872 Owens Valley quake in size and mirrored the intensity of the 1906 San Francisco earthquake. Scientists meticulously analyzed the fault's behavior to unravel its mysteries, gaining insights to better prepare for future earthquakes and safeguard communities from their devastating impact. Do you believe in God? Do let us know in the comment section below, and if you like this video, then do give it a big thumbs up. And don't forget to share it with your friends and family. For more such videos, do subscribe to our channel.